So another Premier League game week is over, and first thing I want to talk about is: do you like this Christmas period fixtures? Obviously, everyone loves the Boxing Day fixtures. We need football in Boxing Day, but in and around this time, everybody is supposed to be at home with their family enjoying. So I don't think if you're at home with your family enjoying, you really need uh, to watch too much sports. I think you can take a little bit of a break from sports, I think, because whenever I have been with family in and around these festive periods, I think it has been actually a difficult task to keep up with the game. So I've had to watch the game on my phone somewhere. We are going somewhere, or we are with some people, and I have to watch it on my phone and follow it up like that. So I think it is a little bit difficult. But yeah, right now I'm not with family. I had that break 2 weeks earlier, so I am pretty much fine. And let's check the table. Let's check the Premier League table because this is very interesting. Obviously, Aston Villa. I have no idea how they are in the title race, but for now they are. And one of the best indicators I feel when you look at the real contenders versus the false contenders. This goal difference. Check out the goal difference. 10. This you calculate these things on xg, this or that. It is very simple. Just look at the goal difference here, and this will tell you everything you need to know about Aston Villa. They are going to fall off eventually, they are, but it is just that for now they are going on a dream run. This happened with Arsenal as well for Unai Emery, and then they fell off in the second half of the season. Unai Emery is really, I don't rate him. Let's not even talk about him. But rest of the clubs, you look at Liverpool at 32. They have been doing well, but again, look at their goal difference. Look at Chelsea's. So you know whose position is true, whose position is false. Sort of. I think Chelsea would are the third best team in the league. But again, yeah, it is what it is. Man United are also are winning. They are not regularly winning as the form shows, but they are still winning. Sunderland drew, they lost Ballard, and they are playing Manchester City next, so they are going to go on a downward spiral now from now. And why does this show? Okay, I have not refreshed this. Maybe probably that's why I need to refresh this. Yeah, Sunderland with 28 points. Sorry, whatever. Um, Tottenham with 25 points, Crystal Palace and Fulham with 26 points. So the difference between Chelsea and Brighton, or even if you look at Fulham, Tottenham, it's 3 points. So Chelsea can find themselves in the 10th position, or in the bottom half if they lose another fixture and draw another fixture. So that is the margin of Premier League this season. And Newcastle at 14 shows you that how strong this league has been. Even Bournemouth at 15, they had a brilliant start to the season, but you look at their recent form, they have been getting dismantled everywhere. Leeds United were not doing that well, but if you look at the last five fixtures, they haven't lost even one fixture, and they have been doing pretty well in general. Nottingham Forest also, they are not a bad team. West Ham as well. Look at West Ham. Burnley and Wolves, even Burnley do, like, they held Everton to a nil-nil draw. So it is not like they are a pushover. Wolves obviously have been having the worst season of their lives. But if you check the fixtures this time, Manchester United versus Newcastle, I would genuinely like to only talk about one player in this match, and that player was Lewis Hall. Absolutely brilliant. The way he took the ball, that one move everyone will talk about, obviously. But he took the ball. He was the last man. Moved past this player, like glided through the pitch past this player. Then a player was coming to push him here. He went there. Then he went there. Then again, two players were coming to push him. He went there. He went there, and then beautiful pass here. It was almost like Lionel Messi playing football, that Luis Hall contribution, and he has been brilliant since he has returned from injury. And I think he is the one who will change Newcastle's fortune. I think Livramento on the right side, Luis Hall on the left side, that will bring fresh energy to Newcastle. These players have not played that many fixtures, both have been injury prone, so this will improve their form, and it is about time Newcastle improve their form. It is said that they have to play all the big six, five of the big six clubs away from home because they have played every one of them at their home. So the fixtures are not going to get any kinder, but I think they will improve. They have been doing decently in the Champions League, and I expect them to do better in the Premier League as well. Moving to Manchester City versus Nottingham Forest, and I think Nottingham Forest got it right. They showed a lot of Premier League teams what Manchester City are really about, because they weren't bothered about defending uh, wide areas, because they know that Doku is not there, Savinio is not there, and they are very reliant on these two triangles. Like they form triangles in these areas, central zones, so they were very compact with their defense. This was Nottingham Forest defense, and even then, with crowded people everywhere, somehow Cherky finds a finish. He gets an assist, he gets a finish. Erling Haaland couldn't even touch the ball the whole game. Nottingham Forest had got the plan right. Ruben Diaz should have been sent off, etc., etc. A lot of things, but I think Ryan Cherky and Phil Foden are doing their business. Even Ryan just comes up with a goal, and he has that finishing touch. Like he is one of those players who is prone to scoring, I think, important goals for his team. Even in his time at Syria, he looked like a player who would score important goals. So Rangers doing that, Cherky, everything you talk about Cherky, his technical skills. I thought initially when he came to the Premier League, he was not so inept physically. I think he was getting a little bit bullied. And to be honest, if you have to dominate Cherky, le- be patient, let him come at you, look at what he's trying to do, and just because you are physically more solid, and you have longer legs than Cherky, just try to tackle him in that way. So you have to wait, you don't have to be too nervous around him, because even if he tries to go right or go left, he will not have big strides to go away from you if you have long legs as a defensive midfielder or a defender or a right back, left back, whatever you are. So I think that could be the best thing, but even Messi had short legs, etc., etc. So I don't know how practical that is, but that is the best hope you have, because he is very tricky. His quick feet, like literally, he glides through players, and with his quick feet, with his swift movement, he can shoot, he can pass, he can cross everything. He's a sensational player, and it looked like that when he played for Lyon. The only question was whether he will physically adapt to the league, and I don't think he has adapted too quickly. I thought it will take him a season or two, but he has adapted in probably 10, 15 Premier League fixtures. He wasn't starting the games regularly, but Pep Guardiola gave him time, and a lot of credit goes to Pep Guardiola as well, because it was his responsibility to make him adapt to that. Even Rangers had lost form, not wasn't scoring goals in the middle of the season, and again Pep Guardiola uh, resurrecting his players, and yeah, they obviously have Erling Haaland. Even their fullbacks are doing well. Matthew Nunes, Nico Riley, pretty solid. Ruben Diaz, obviously he should have been sent off, but in general, Guardiola and Ruben Diaz, that back four has been playing continuously and has is pretty settled right now. Even the Nottingham Forest could have scored more. One of the chances where Morgan Gibbs White could have scored, but Igor Jesus had a touch. All those things are frustrating, obviously, and it wasn't the best of games for Manchester City, and that shows when Erling Haaland is not too involved and doesn't score. You know, they have had a tough game when Erling Haaland doesn't score, but overall, if you see, it was pretty much uh, a win where they showed why they are title contenders and why they are probably the favorites right now. In their mind, they will be the favorites. In their mind, they will be very confident that Arsenal are going to slip up. And moving to Arsenal, they are going to slip up. It looks like that because look at them, and they are creating chances after chances and not scoring, not capitalizing. Odegaard had a brilliant game. Then Saka didn't have that good a game in front of goal, and somehow a lot of injuries. Calafiori injured, Timber injured. Declan Rice had right back, so not stable defense. Gabriel is back now. Timber would be back, and Calafiori has. It's been told that Calafiori has a bug or something. So it is not. If they Arsenal get their back four back, then it's on again. They are going to go on a brilliant run from here on. But if they don't have their back four, that is going to cause a lot of problems. But their home form, they have I think drawn one and won everything else except of that Crystal Palace penalty shootout, which will also count as a win. So their home form is brilliant. So they'll be pretty confident whenever they host any team, and they are going to, like they won against Brighton, they'll host as Aston Villa now, and then next they will host Liverpool. So important tough teams coming at home, so that home run is going to be tested. But for now, Arsenal are going by, they are winning, they are top of the league. So they'll just hope that their players get fit and they bring the rhythm, and these XGs that they are creating, these chances that they are creating, they capitalize on that and will really cash in in the second half of the season. Now moving to Chelsea versus Aston Villa. Chelsea versus Aston Villa was actually, like, I will, in short, I'll also talk about Brentford versus Bournemouth, and I think Brentford simply destroyed Bournemouth. Bournemouth have lost defenders and they are not looking that solid yet. Semenyo keeps scoring, but other than that, Bournemouth look tired, look like like they have lost momentum so bad. Like, I don't know, they are just defensively not solid. I didn't watch that game obviously, but it just seems like it is too easy to score against them right now, and you're not going to win too many games if it is that easy to score against you. West Ham versus Fulham, it was a pretty boring game. Both teams had a few chances. Fulham took theirs, West Ham didn't take theirs, and literally like one or two good chances were created, and that is how that match settled. Liverpool versus Wolves also. Liverpool were looking very comfortable. Words with his first goal, like a take looking brilliant, like he does in every game. So that is, I think, Liverpool are a good team, but somehow they are disjointed at the back, and somehow they are still shell shocked with what happened with them in the early part of the season after they've had won 5 games. So they are still recovering from that. They are still finding their feet. Arne Slot is still finding his feet in the Premier League. That is weird to say when he has already won the Premier League, but he is finding his feet with his new team, with his team now. Now that it is not Klopp's team, it's his team. So, and you look at that with him not playing Robertson and always trusting Kirkes, and then obviously Wolves fighting for their lives, but just not good enough. They concede 2 goals. Looked like Word's goal looked like a counter attack goal, and I don't even remember how the first goal went in. But yeah, you know that Wolves aren't pushovers. Like, they don't just get hammered 5-0, 6-0, but they for sure have a habit of losing. You say people get habit of winning, so they have got a momentum where they keep losing. They just are used to that feeling of losing every game. Like Manchester City were in that zone last season where they kept losing in the last minute somehow. So with one that odd goal, even if they were 2-0 up, they would end up losing 3-2. So like the Arsenal game, Wolves lost when they equalized at the 90th minute, and they lost it anyway in the 93rd minute. So that way they are in habit of losing. They have physical strikers, they can counter well, they can play good football as well. crossing to the box and attacking their big strikers. They that should have worked. Wolves could have scored more goals. Maybe they could have scored 3 goals. Liverpool themselves could have scored more in the first half. So I think all in all, it was a good game to watch. But Liverpool would not be happy that it was as close as it went, and the way they were dominated in the second half by Wolves, they won't be happy with that. Chelsea versus Aston Villa. I mean, I will have to also make a video on Arsenal versus Aston Villa and how Arsenal can counter Aston Villa and how they can defeat them. But you look at Aston Villa, they get dominated in the whole game. XG philosophy on Twitter is absolutely mad, and so am I, because I know Unai is not as good as like it is showing up. He has never won a title. Like he lost League One with PSG, so I don't know if he is of for sure not a title winning manager nor even a title contender. But Aston Villa simply with Morgan Rogers, with Tillemans, with John McGinn, and with whoever their striker is, they just bomb up the pitch. They have Abu Kamara here who wins the ball. Tillemans takes it, then they pass to Morgan Rogers, him taking the ball from this angle. So hot zone for Aston Villa is basically this, and here they mostly create chances when the other team overcommits and attacks them, and they make it a basketball game. That is the uh, mantra for them. That is the only thing they can succeed in. If the game is a basketball game and it is end to end, and their players get space, and their players have been sensational from outside the box shooting low xg chances, and Morgan Rogers obviously has been sensational. He should have gotten an assist in this game as well, but Oli Watkins comes in, scores two crucial goal from the middle. From these sort of areas only gets an through ball, ends up scoring, gets the lucky ricochet from the keeper as well. That shows a lot too, that how when everything is going for you, everything just simply goes for you. I don't think this Aston Villa form is sustainable. um, Chelsea also had a lot of opportunities. They were also given a lot of space. When the from the first minute you saw it was going to be a basketball game. Then slowly but surely Chelsea started dominating. They scored from a free kick, I guess. Yeah, they scored an own goal went from the cross. So obviously Cash and Kamara have gotten a yellow card, and that would defensively hamper them even more. And the fact that they get so many counter attacks, they give so much space to every team, that they it will cost them against Arsenal, I feel. But overall, if you look at this game, Chelsea, who were supposed to be at the top of the Premier League right now, challenging Arsenal or even bettering them by now, are sitting pretty much in the fifth position. And if they lose a game or two, like I said before, they can find themselves in the 10th position, and very soon they can also find themselves in the bottom half of the league. So they have a young squad, but their defense is not as assured as it should be. Reece James sometimes plays midfield, sometimes plays right back. Cucurella, obviously, like they do have the best fullbacks in the Premier League. Maybe I think even if you compare Calafiori and Timber, they can. Reece James and Cucurella can compete with them. It is a flip of a coin between these two at the moment, but I think they have proper one of the best in the top two left wing backs or left backs. They have Caicedo, who is pretty solid, who is also in the conversation of top two defensive midfielders. They do have Cole Palmer, who is also one of the best creative midfielders, but somehow in front of goal and the width, Garnacho, Neto, and Joao Pedro, it is not happening for them. Even though I don't think Joao Pedro is a bad player, he does a lot of good stuff, but it is not the one they want for title winning sides. Like Arsenal have Bukayo Saka, they have Trossard firing, they have Eze Madueke, and they have four strikers, Gabriel Jesus. So these are quality players that can win you games. but Chelsea do not have that in and around their creative force. So their front three is not good enough, and I think their center backs are not good enough. So the very core of the team in scoring goals and defending goals, that is not good enough for Chelsea, and that is what is costing them right now, I feel. And yeah, I hope, I wish them best of luck for the next title race where they compete till December again next season. And moving on to today's fixture, awful fixture. Sunderland versus Leeds United. Sunderland did Leeds are playing well. Leeds are really playing well, to be honest. Every game I have seen them, they destroyed Crystal Palace. They competed with Manchester City and they haven't lost in the last 5 games. And if you look at their stats, let me show you their stats. They absolutely dominated Sunderland away from home. And I don't know what Manchester City is going to do to the Sunderland side, but it is not going to look good because 17 shots, 5 on target, absolutely hammered them, and should have won the game but did not convert their chances, obviously. And yeah, that is all. I think obviously Sunderland are going to struggle without their 6 players who have gone to AFCON, and then Ballard is also injured now, so that will just harden the blow. When it comes to Crystal Palace versus Tottenham, I expected so much more from Crystal Palace, but they really look like they're playing like a team that is just tired, a lot of fixtures in their legs, and the squad is not good enough to handle that, and they are playing like that. And it is sad to say because their squad is very good. So even Guehi, you look at Guehi making mistakes, you look at Mateta, who has just lost something, he has lost a yard or two, and he just doesn't look the same player. The header he missed today, those type of chances he was converting, like it was those chances he was scoring for with unreal amount of ease. He was looking as threatening as Erling Haaland last season. So looking at him, then Enketia comes in, does a few good things, but doesn't really hamper anything, like doesn't really create anything significant. And that is what all the most of their players did. Ismail Sarr is not playing, that is also a big blow for them. Wharton had a chance, but mostly Tottenham Hotspur, I thought, I expected them to play a little bit in front of the goal. They like compete with them, try to attack them, be a little bit silly, but they were not. They sat back, they defended very patiently, and they waited for their chances. And that set piece goal. Now, Crystal Palace again looked very tired. They could not jump high enough for it. They looked like physically inept, lost all their duels in that set piece goal, which was scored by, I think it was scored by, I forgot his name. It was scored by a teenager, Gray. Yeah, so all in all, it was not that fun game to watch. Like Crystal Palace had chances, but you knew that they are not going to score any of them. There was certain kind of feeling in the stadium as well that they just don't have it in them to score these goals. So that is what happened in this Premier League game week. I thought it is just like it is going to be very it this period goes very fast for all the clubs, and you can find yourself like a Chelsea in fifth position out of the title race firmly. You can find yourself like Aston Villa with all the momentum in the world, just at the top of the world. You can find yourself as Arsenal struggling to keep up but just about doing their business. You can find yourself as City, who are calm, composed, who are not worrying about anything, going through their business like they have done it for so many of previous years. You can find yourself as a Crystal Palace, who are so tired that they cannot compete even when they want, because they don't have the squad and resources. You can find yourself as a Liverpool, who are confused, who are not ready for anything, but who are not ready to compete for the title, but are just clinching on to their top four hopes. So a lot of clubs, a lot of stories, but I think more so we have to care about the players health also, because the very reason we are not getting top quality games is can also be that they are just playing too many games, and if they play too many games they will be tired and it will be hard. Like if you demand, like Arsenal are having problems in front of the goal, maybe it's just tiredness that they are not able to be fresh enough at the end of when they make their runs. At the end of their runs they are not at their 100%, they are already blowing up too quick, so they cannot get away their shots as well as they would have done if they were fitter. So those kind of things are coming in, like Crystal Palace defending their goal, not able to jump as high as Tottenham players who had a week's rest. So those things are very important and very crucial. And yeah, I don't know who is going to win the league. I don't know who is going to get relegated. Well, like I know Wolves are going to get relegated, but it is a very good season where a lot of teams are competing for a lot of things, and you never know who will end up where in the table come May. So it is an interesting season. I am loving it, and you can also tell me if you are loving my videos, because if you're loving my videos, your standards are not that good. But anyway, that is all about this Premier League game week. Let's meet for the Premier League. Another Premier League game week is going to start in 2 days' time, so I'm going to come up with predictions. I'm going to preview the Arsenal vs Aston Villa game, and I will look at other fixtures, which interesting fixtures I can preview. And I'll see you then and there. Bye.